The state eviction moratorium has expired and many renters fear they could be forced out of their homes. Starting today, a landlord can file an eviction notice for failure to pay rent. And if rent is not paid up by the end of the month, they could sue the tenant come November 1st. But some counties and cities continue to have their own moratoriums in place. Our investigative reporter Brooks DeRose is here now to explain the steps that tenants can still take to get legal help, rent relief funding, and other resources. Brooks?
Janet, tenant attorneys say it's important to know your rights. They say since the pandemic began, there have been a slew of illegal evictions and renters feeling like they have no other option than to leave. But there are some protections even now to keep tenants housed, and it depends on where you live.
It's an uphill battle for rent relief. Morgan Zito is a master tenant of this 6-bedroom house in San Francisco.
It's been difficult.
$5,000 a month split among 6 people. While he works at a restaurant, some of his housemates are still unemployed and others have moved.
We've had unwavering landlords that were unwilling to accept lesser rent due to the fact that we didn't have people.
Now, with the state eviction moratorium lifted, Zito says he's worried the landlords may serve him with an eviction notice or next month sue for back rent.
I understand that landlords are struggling as well, probably, and looking for the money that they do deserve. But, you know, we're struggling too. We don't want to be out on the street. We're doing our best to try to work with them.
And they've applied for emergency rental relief money. Zito says they were approved months ago, but have yet to see a dime. And getting answers hasn't happened.
It's been quite a confusing and hard circumstance to be in, for sure.
He's not alone. Housing experts say applications, documentation, and language barriers keep tenants who need the help from getting the help they need.
This confusion and the inefficiency of what's happened here, this is going to continue to have a ripple effect because most tenants are still waiting for payment here.
Tenant attorney Christina Collins says delays and dysfunction getting the federal funding out persist, and it could lead to a deluge of eviction filings. But she says struggling renters should still apply and should search for other relief programs through nonprofits, churches, advocacy organizations, or even mayor's offices. If all else fails,
it doesn't hurt to reach out to the landlord and see if there's some ability to negotiate and come to some sort of amicable resolution here for the tenant to be able to continue to stay housed and the landlord to eventually get paid.
Rent rules vary from place to place. It's important renters and landlords know their rights. Right now, Alameda County and cities like Oakland and Berkeley still ban pandemic evictions. Statewide, landlords are required to prove they've exhausted options for rental relief. But in counties like Santa Clara, Solano, and San Francisco, it's a harsh reality.
It's back to business as usual, I'm sorry to say.
Call it a housing headache for those left in limbo. For Zito, who volunteers at a nonprofit feeding and clothing the homeless, it hits home.
So I work intimately with people that are out there on the street already, and I find it quite ironic that the city's going to put me in a position where, you know, I might end up being amongst them next.
There is a cascading effect here. Once you're evicted and that's on your rental history, it's much more difficult to secure future housing. So if you're struggling or think you're going to have trouble paying rent, apply for relief or get legal aid now before getting any eviction notice. I'm Brooks DeRose, KTVU Fox 2 News.
And Brooks, I know you've done a lot of work on this and put some posts online with critical links so people can get information. So hopefully they can check that out because it's hard to navigate through all this. Thank you.